We shall overcome. I know we shall overcome someday. The very words the late Luther King did say. And when we do overcome, I know his dreams will come true. Hands in hands, the white boy lime in the streets with you. I became aware of the world around me by listening to the news on the BBC and Voice of America when I was a youth. In those days, radio was a scarce commodity. I remember two people in the village owning radios, a sergeant of police and another gentleman. But we had to listen to the radio and give the news when we attended primary school. So every morning after prayers, we had to say what the news of the day was. But we had to do it accurately. I remember ABS one time bringing over that they found a man on All Saints Road, bareheaded and barefooted. And the guy reported in the news at school that they said that they found a man beheaded and barefooted. All right? In those days, apartheid in South Africa, Rhodesia, the black struggles in America dominated the news. And as a black person, I became interested. So that when I discovered that I was able to write, compose calypsos, and do melodies, the struggles in all those countries came to my mind. Those are the first things that came to my pen. By that time, Martin Luther King had already been assassinated, but there was no significant change in any of the countries mentioned. Probably the Civil Rights Act came into being in America. I'm not too certain, but that would have been the most significant change during that time. So when I started singing calypso, in my subconscious, those are the things that came to my mind. And so this is the first song that I ever did for the public. Well, where are we Negroes heading to? Where are we from? What are we going to do? Every morning in the news, on the radio, we hear of the suffering Negro. You'll do what you want, not for very long. I know someday we shall overcome. We shall overcome. I know we shall overcome. Someday, the very words the late Luther King did say. And when we do overcome, I know his dreams will come true. Hands in hands, the white boy lime in the street with you. Well, the land of the Negro kid is Africa. Right over there, look how we Negroes suffer. What is happening there, I really don't know. Why human treating humans so? Negroes on earth, let's unite as one and create a mammoth Afro nation. We shall overcome, I know we shall overcome. Someday, the very words the late Luther King did say. And when we do overcome, I know his dreams will come true. The little white boy or girl will be married to me or you. My mother and father, they were barely literate. My mother was a market vendor, and my father was a fisherman. But my mother was very high on education. My mother said that education is the way out of poverty. And she had another saying, I don't want my kids to become duffers like me. And so there were 10 of us. Remember, there were no radios or anything. So they had no television, no electricity. So they had no family planning either. So they had candlelight 365 days a year. All right, so that's how they came by 10 of us. All right, but my mother was higher education, as I said, and she insisted that at least almost all of us got secondary education. Most of us got college or university education. She was very high. In the 60s, secondary education came into being in Antigua, free secondary education. Not secondary, because there were some schools already having secondary education, but secondary education was available to the rank and file, and people were high in education. I believe the next song that I did was a result of my mother's, high for education and the thirst among young people for an education at that time. So, this is the song that I penned at that time. You've got to tell them what is wrong. You've got to teach them what is right. For what is worth achieving, they have got to fight. Teach them to be honest, sincere, and wise. And on their shoulders, the future of the whole world lies. A tree begins from the root, so it's your duty to nurture and train the youth. What in the world could beat a sound education? Nothing whatsoever in this modern generation. For without a good education upstairs, you will be handicapped for donkey's years. So to the whole wide world I will say, educate your little kid from today. You've got to tell them what is wrong. You've got to teach them what is right. For what is worth achieving, they have got to fight. Teach them to be honest, sincere, and wise. And on their shoulders, the future of the whole world lies. A tree begins from the root, so it's your duty to nurture and train the youth. Education, I know, is an all-important thing. In this world where morals are deteriorating, don't allow your son or daughter to follow the crowd. Cultivate a little man of whom you'll be proud. Give your education top priority. That will be assets, not disgrace to society. You've got to tell them what is wrong. You've got to teach them what is right. For what is worth achieving, they have got to fight. Teach them to be honest, sincere, and wise. And on their shoulders, the future of the whole world lies. A tree begins from the root, so it's your duty to nurture and train the youth. Train up your kids, their parents, so that you can hear in the near future of a Wordsworth or a Shakespeare. Instill a good foundation right from the start, so that when he grows he shall not depart. For every infant that goes astray, there's an adult responsible today. You've got to tell them what is wrong. You've got to teach them what is right. For what is worth achieving, they have got to fight. Teach them to be honest, sincere, and wise. And on the shoulders, the future of the whole world lies. A tree begins from the root, so it's your duty to nurture and train the youth. Education, I know, is an all-important thing. In this world where morals are deteriorating, don't allow your son or daughter to follow the crowd. Cultivate a little man of whom you're proud. Give your education top priority, and you'll be assets, not disgrace to society. You've got to tell them what is wrong. You've got to teach them what is right. For what is worth achieving, they have got to fight. Teach them to be honest, sincere, and wise. And on their shoulders, the future of the whole world lies. A tree begins on the root, so it's your duty to nurture and train the youth. I was an Anglican. I'm still an Anglican. But in those days, all the priests were white men from either England or Ireland. Either Irishmen or Englishmen. And so when I saw the first black priest in gown, the same gown that the clergy wore, it took me quite a while to get accustomed to it. It was a kind of a culture shock. I was still aware of the world around me, and so I was still writing and so on. And one night, I got up from a dream with a spontaneous melody and lyrics. It took me 20 minutes to write this particular calypso, because it was already in my subconscious. born on a slave plantation down in the West Indies. Clearing polyposia and flamingo trees, they whip on your back if you fail to work, and biting, you can't even jerk. That was the life, all sorrow, no joy, of a poor little Negro boy. Lord, sores on my skin, I can't touch my hand. Mangy in me hair, you're dropping one by one. Separated from your people, and that's no lie. Treated so inhuman, had no family tie. Not a day of your life you'd enjoy. Yes, that was the life of a Negro boy. Taught to be so respectful to old massa, forgetting all about the culture home in Africa. We even lost the way we talk back home, clinging to language of massa own. Now we live in sorrow, we live in shame. For the culture we lost, we try to regain. Lord, sores on my skin, I can't touch my hand. Mangy in me hair, you're dropping one by one. Separated from your people, and that's no lie. Treated so inhuman, and no family tie. Not a day of your life you'd enjoy. Yes, that was the life of a Negro boy. Born a little Negro boy, yes. You were born a fool. I say the hope was your pen, the plantation was your school. Brain was by massa, couldn't use the head. To be born a Negro boy was like being born dead. Couldn't sleep too drunk, to wake up too late. But when you wake up, you'll so find yourself castrate. Sores on my skin, I can't touch my hand. Mangy in me hair, they're chopping one by one. Separated from your people, and that's no lie. Treated so inhuman, and no family tie. Not a day of your life you'd enjoy. Yes, that was the life of a Negro boy. There came a day, my friend, in 1834. We learned that slavery would exist no more. We dance on the streets, we drink, we rum, we beat them at a pestle and the bongo drum. Yeah, that has been long past a century, and as a people we're still struggling to be free. Lord, sores on my skin, I can't touch my hand. Mangy in me hair, you're dropping one by one. Separated from your people, and that's no lie. Treated so inhuman, had no family tie. Not a day of your life you'd enjoy. Yes, that was the life of a Negro boy. Back in the day, our system of government was that England was responsible for everything until 1967, when we had a form of independence, which is stated in association with Britain. Prior to that, everything for us was one from London. London was one in Antigua. And so in 1981, when we acquired an improved status, which is that we were becoming independent, every citizen in Antigua was very, very proud. I was very proud, because it was going to be that people educated under our system, our own people, were going to be able, we had come of age, we had achieved manhood, so we would be able to run our own affairs. We were a country, a nation, and I was very, very proud of that. And so with my pride of country and my excitement of the moment, you know, I wrote some lines. I think they go like this: like, we are ready to sink this country. And that was 34 years ago. And those lines are still applicable up to this day. Because I tell myself, not much has changed. But we can always look on a brighter side and look to the future with some optimism. Because we have a nation to build, a country to mold. Like, we have lost our sanity, and we are ready to sink this country. No, I say no. Tooth Moon and Sam must share the blame for spoiling our country's name. Yeah, oh yeah. They contribute so easily to a nation's downfall. For me, oh my, we are not patriotic at all. I say it is fighting together, not among one another, is the only war we should wage. Only sober decisions will prove we have come of age. Every citizen to the cause of justice must rise. We must build together and not fractionize. dedicated to your country's cause, with body, mind, and soul. We have a nation to build, a nation to build, a country to mold. We have a nation to build, a country to mold. Where is your sense of loyalty? What is your contribution to your country? None. None at all. Where's your concern for the majority? Tears and strikes are no good for our country? No. Oh no. There is enough brain to make a success of this nation. But we fight and blight, no brain coordination. I say it is fighting together, not among one another, is the only war we should wage. Only sober decisions will prove we have come of age. Every citizen to the cause of justice must rise. We must build together and not fraternize. Dedicated to your country's cause, with body, mind, and soul. We have a nation to build, a nation to build, a country to mold. We have a nation to build, a country to mold. We're too preoccupied with politics. We make our decisions just for kicks. Shame. What a shame. Various diseases are on the rise. So these and more we are closing our eyes. My, oh my. Let's get down to the task of nation building one and all. And as the anthem says, rise to your country's call. I say it is fighting together, not among one another, is the only war we should wage. Only sober decisions will prove we have come of age. Every citizen to the cause of justice must rise. We must build together and not fraternize. Dedicated to your country's cause, with body, mind, and soul. We have a nation to build, a nation to build, a country to mold. We have a nation to build, a country to mold. We have a nation to build, a nation to build, a country to mold. We have a nation to build, a country to mold.